very big smile on my face today. I feel like a kid. This bike, it's so insane. Lightweight, very powerful. You can do everything you can imagine with this bike, so this is very spectacular. I want to tell you guys something. If you want to support us, check the details in the link below. Afterwards, I will start by telling you everything you want to know about this bike. I want to start with the engine because this is the central piece on this bike. It's the LC4 liquid-cooled 4. It's a very old engine model from KTM, but it's nothing compared to the previous ones. This one is very well developed. It produces 74 horsepower, and right now you have the riding modes, which are very helpful, and you can use all the power coming from this power plant over here. The important part is that it's not vibrating anymore. It's fitted with a counter shaft that reduces a lot the vibrations and also allows you to run with lower revs, so it won't stall as much as the previous models. So every time you want to pull a wheelie, first gear, second gear, it will happen like magic in a second. You also have the slippery clutch, which will allow you to run down the gearbox, and the rear wheel will never skid. You can control it just by pressing the rear brake while wheeling, so very impressive power.
Most of all, it has all the systems that you can wish for, starting with quick shifter, auto blipper, traction control, ABS cornering, why not? And the cool fact for this proper bike over here, I have a dongle that cuts off my rear ABS, so I can play with it, I can slide it a bit, I can make some noise, burn some tire, and that's pretty fun to do.
One more aspect about this engine, it only has one camshaft that's fitted above the exhaust valves. So the other ones on the intake will be actioned by the rocker arms. So this reduces some friction and also engine noise, which is very nice because right now the only thing I wish for this bike over here is to have a proper exhaust for a supermoto. This bike is filled with all the goodies. You have traction control, engine mapping, so you have two maps of power, 1 and 2. 2 should be the one more powerful. You can switch off the traction control just by pressing a button, and also the thing that got me the most is the quick shifter up and down. So let's face it, you have a supermoto, lightweight bike, fun machine with a quick shifter. Okay, it's not working like on a super bike in line 4. It's there to use it. You can press it, and every time the bike will change gears, sometimes it will feel a bit harsh. I love it. Every new bike should have it. This KTM has it. One of the big advantages for KTM is that they produce their own suspension. Fully adjustable front and rear suspension. The front end feels very planted, stick to the asphalt while going fast on twisties, while going on bumpier roads. Everything feels very natural and just like a sports suspension, but with a longer travel. You will have the comfort that you need to ride every day in the city, go over potholes, and you won't feel nothing. And if you want to raise the pace and push the bike a bit harder, it will react very natural, front and rear, very nice to have, a pleasure to ride. Also, the brakes are just unbelievable because you have a 320mm front disc on this bike and a radial mounted caliper from Brembo, so there's a lot of stopping power coming from that one. You can do stoppies at any time you want. You just need the experience, or even though you are not that experienced, you just need to push it a bit harder on the front lever and we will flip the rear instantaneously. So very good brakes on this bike. So being a supermoto shouldn't be that comfortable for everyday use, because this saddle will become very hard on your bum after half an hour or an hour of riding. But this one, it's a bit plusher than an enduro bike, and also you have a bigger space on the rear for the passenger, which is very important. This bike also comes with rear passenger seats, and yeah, you can take a passenger. The suspension will allow you to do that, but otherwise, if you want to use it in the city, if you want to go very far up the seat, if you want to ride and be in control of the bike, you will do it for an hour or so without any problem. This saddle, as I said, it's a bit more plusher than an enduro bike, and this is very important because from my experience, usually I get the supermotos with very rough seats. This wide handlebar will help you steer in between cars, and the riding position, it's very natural for a supermoto. It's very helpful while riding in the city because you're above the traffic, you can see everything that's happening in front of you, and you can filter a lot better with this bike. I like it. Also, a cool thing from KTM, the steering angle is adjustable because you have two bolts left and right, just like on enduro bikes. These triple clamps are forged aluminum, so premium stuff on this 690 Supermoto. The overall weight of the bike, it's around 147 kilograms dry. So if you add up the fuel and the liquids inside the engine, you will end up with around 168 or close to 170 kilograms, which is not that much considering the power output. It's close to acceptable, let's put it like that. Another interesting thing on this 690 SMR, it's the mass centralization, because the engine is on the rear, it's fitted backwards actually. You can already imagine that the tank should be in the front. On this bike it's in the rear, and together with this tank they reduce the weight here and there. The hubs on the wheels are lighter. They are still tube types with spoked wheels, but they look very good. But the thing that I dislike the most about this bike is this ugly and heavy looking exhaust over here. It's a Euro 4 unit. It has a cool sound. Let's put it like this, it's a cool sound. The bike should be fitted with an Akrapovic or something, but this one comes out with a lot of heat in the whole area of the leg, and it's pretty nasty to use it on a hot summer day. This is another thing that this engine has as a downside for me. Now that I'm making a list with the things that I dislike about this KTM 690 Supermoto, I don't understand KTM, seriously. You fitted the bike with the tail light that it's LED, turn lights that are LED, but you stick to the usual headlight. To sum things up, I have to tell you the things that I like about this KTM. I like that it's a supermoto and it feels quite natural in the city. I like that it has impressive brakes, and the throttle response is very predictable regardless of the map. So you can use it even though you're a novice and you don't have that much experience. You can have a lot of fun with, and why not? You should use it as a daily bike if you're living in a crowded city like me. You have to wheel it, you have to slide it, you have to stop it. The fun factor is the most important about this KTM 690 Supermoto R.